You're a sixth generation farmer who has completely rebuilt how this farm works from the inside out. If someone is watching this who's never farmed before, but is seriously thinking about making the change to regenerative farming, what do you say to them directly?
I would say, yeah, go at it. The idea of regenerative farming is to create a production system, whether it's food or something else, but a production system that's beautiful and sustainable. And so, I think traditionally regenerative farming has been seen as less productive from a pure productivity point of view.
Yes.
And I think what we've seen in this local Macedon Ranges area is actually, I think the regenerative farmers are running at about twice the productivity per hectare of the conventional farmers. Now that's because most of the regenerative farmers are running smaller farms.
Yes.
And it's easier to do when it's a smaller farm.
Yes.
So a 500-acre farm, it's pretty easy to go move the animals every few days. It's not a big effort. If you're running a 2,000 or 3,000 acre farm, these things get harder.
Yes.
But the smaller the farm, the easier the farming is, I would say, because you're closer. You can see it. Things aren't, over the hill where you don't see them in time. And in terms of starting from a, paddock to plate system, it all depends on, creating the right channel for the right volume. And so you don't have to go, if you've only got a few sheep, you might only go to one market a month.
Right.
And you know what? That's perfectly good. So there's one producer who comes to the Eltham farmers market. We go to Eltham a couple of times a month. There's one producer that comes once a month when we're not there, and that's the only market that they do. And it's perfect. They've got a small farm. They just process a few animals every month.
Yep.
And they go to one market.
Low costs.
Low costs. It's a really good side project.
Yep.
And they live in the country. They work remotely. They have Starlink. It's just a really good.
That's the other thing.
benefit.
Internet's not a problem now.
No, I have better internet than most of my friends.
That's it. That's the irony. Is actually in many ways better. So you say to them, go for it. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared, and buy a few sheep. And you know what? It's all about common sense. So keeping animals healthy is all about common sense. Keeping an eye on them, watching how they're doing. Keeping an eye, sheep have some unique elements of, you've got to be careful about worms, but the more you rotationally graze them, the less problems you get out of worms.
Yep.
You've got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on their nutrition over the year. Their nutrition needs vary, but we've created our farming system to match the grass growth capacity. So, we lamb in June so that when the ewes and lambs are at peak grass need in September, that's when we hit peak grass growth. So that, mirrors the grass growth to our production system. If I was just a farmer and not selling meat, then I'd sell all my lambs by Christmas.
Right.
And I'd go on holidays for the first half of the year.
Well, that's an option, right? That's the thing. There's different ways to do it that you can do for your life.
And you don't have to sell all your production at retail either. So,
right.
We gradually sold less lambs in the livestock market over the last couple of years. But, sometimes it's nice to go sell 100 lambs and get a nice big check in one go.
Yep.
And, that's the same as doing a whole month's worth.